at my home relay this morning, and I am thrilled about that. So, y'all know, and some of you firsthand, that cancer sucks. You know, I think there's so many parts of it that are so difficult. And it starts with the waiting for a diagnosis. Knowing in your gut that something just isn't right. You keep hoping and praying and trying to make deals with God. This really can't be happening, but something is telling you it's happening. I went for my mammogram, had them before, squish one boob and then the other and take some photos, and they always say, you know, let me just show these films to the radiologist, make sure we got what we needed. But when she came back in the room, she said they'd need more pictures and didn't make eye contact with me anymore. And I knew I was in trouble. The waiting is hard, trying to act normal around your family and friends and your coworkers. It'd be 2 weeks before I would get my diagnosis, which was breast cancer. You know, for those of us who've been diagnosed, it's to hear those words, you know, you have cancer. You have breast cancer, Debbie. You're stage 3. Your cancer treatment's going to take the next year of your life. You're going to lose your hair. And we're going to need to do a mastectomy. And as my oncologist was talking to me, at some point it was kind of like the wah, 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 wah. I started to think, my hair and my boobs? I'm in big trouble here. Those were my 2 favorite features. Or 3, I guess. So I had 5 months of chemo. The sickest I've ever been and the scaredest I've ever been. My son Zach hears this morning, and I tell the story how Zach loves the show Survivor. But I'll tell you what a survivor is. It's waking up in the morning with your hair all over your pillow. It's having your 12-year-old son buzz your head. Sorry. He's having a moment. You know, I had chemo before my surgery. I had some time to think about my surgery. As part of my blog, you know, where I wrote daily in the life of a cancer patient, I had named my boobs Flopsy and Mopsy. Some of you who know about Flopsy and Mopsy. Flopsy, my left breast, is the one that had cancer. Mopsy didn't. I had to make a decision if I would go ahead and just do a mastectomy on the one side or if I would do both. And I decided to do both. I decided that those girls had always gone everywhere together, so they were going to do this together. The night before my surgery, on my blog, I wrote a letter to my boobs, kind of a tribute and a goodbye. I recalled some of our favorite moments, and I thanked them for their years of service. But I'll tell you, survivors, that first peek under the sheets, looking at yourself, where 2 big fat bunnies used to live, is now a flat chest. You know, there were so many times during cancer treatment, and especially after my surgery, I'd look at myself in the mirror, and I wasn't sure who that person was. I had a little leather bracelet that I'd had since I was a teenager. I got it at grad night at Disneyland, and it said Debbie on it. I started wearing that bracelet again because sometimes I would need to look down at my wrist and see my name and know that I was still me. A few months after my surgery, I had the courage to ask my husband, "Do you ever miss Flopsy and Mopsy?" And he said, without missing a beat, "Not as much as I would have missed you." I went through radiation. That's fun. It's kind of Zen-like, except you're being blasted with radiation and lasers are flying above your head. You know, being a cancer survivor, it's hard. It's hard work going through cancer treatment. But I did it. But there's one piece of it I'll never get over. That was the day I had to tell my kids, "Mommy has cancer." Cancer took something away from my kids that day that I can never give back to them. It's hard. But something happened to me very early in treatment that I'm so grateful for and was a game changer for me. And it's called Relay. My friend Kim Cooper called me and told me I really needed to come out. I'd never been to Relay. I didn't even know what it was. This was the summer of 2010. I was only 3 months into chemo. She said, "I really think you'll get something out of it." I couldn't figure out why Kim wanted me to walk or run or whatever you do at Relay in my condition. But I figured I'd trust her. So I came out that morning. I went to the registration table. I've told this story before. They asked me, you know, how we tie the little balloons on all the survivors, and they asked me how long of a survivor was I. I said I'm not a survivor. I'm still in treatment. And she said to me, "Honey, as soon as you hear the words you have cancer, you're a survivor." So she put a 1 on my balloon, and I got out. I put my purple shirt on, I will admit, a little reluctantly, another layer of reality. And I walked, one purple shirt among many, out here on this track. I talked about walking next to Cindy, Kim's mama, who had a very big number on her balloon, and I had balloon envy because I just had a little 1 on mine. I looked around me, though, and with every step, right here, I was changed. I looked at the other survivors around me. I looked at the big numbers. With every step, I was empowered. I was empowered. I was embraced. I knew I wasn't alone in this. It was like somebody handed me a big can of cancer whoop-ass. I took it in my hand. I took every step around this track, and I was changed. 2 summers ago, I walked in here, a cancer victim. But when I left here as a breast cancer survivor. It changed me. Kim, where are you, Kim? Kim, it changed my life. I told her, if I gotta cry, you gotta cry, because I cry every time. It changed my life. So my first relay, I walked this track, bald, with my little purple scarf on. My second relay, last summer, I walked this track with little Easter chick hair and no boobs. And this year, I walked my third relay as a hero of hope for ACS, and my little pin that says, yes, these are fake. My real ones tried to kill me. So I got my fake boobs on for y'all this morning. I haven't had my reconstruction yet. I was supposed to, but I got a kidney stone instead, so I will be having it. I plan on walking my fourth relay with my new boobs, made out of tummy fat, and I'm going to try to convince my plastic surgeon to use a little butt fat, too. I just want to share with you this morning that what you're doing matters. We live in a world where so much means so little, and this means so much. It changed my life. I've now had the opportunities to speak at relays from San Jose to Oracle. Last weekend, I was the opening speaker at Oakland Relay. Later that night, I was the luminary speaker at the Belmont Relay, and the next morning, I was the fight back speaker at Novato. That morning at Novato, a lady was just out taking her morning walk, and she heard me talking. And so she stopped and came into the relay and waited for me to finish and came up and introduced herself. Her name was Paula, is Paula. She's an 86-year-old, two-time breast cancer survivor. She told me I could do it. She gave me her email and her phone number in case I ever needed her. You know, when I go to talk at these relays, I think I'm going to give something, but every time I get. I just want to leave you, when we talk about fighting back, there's all kinds of ways that you can do it. I could talk to you about taking better care of yourself, eating more whole foods, getting more vitamin D. There's so many different things that you can do to try to take better care of yourself. But what I'd like to leave you with is what I've learned being a survivor is. Because whether you've had cancer or not, at some point in each of our lives, you're going to have to survive something. And how you do it, it's not how many days you have, it's making every day count. It's living your life with gratitude. It's loving your life, embracing your life. It's not letting the bad that happens in this life break you. Let it teach you. Let it make you more compassionate. Show up for the people you love. Love your life. That's what it's all about. So go from here. It's never too late to start your day over. It's never too late to be who you thought you were going to be. Today, the way that you can fight back is call that person that you've been needing to call and tell them you love them. Call that person you've been needing to forgive and forgive them. Love your life. We're so blessed. And I'm so blessed to be a hero of hope. I know I've been crying, but I'm happy. I am so happy. This has changed my life. I have had the opportunity to speak in front of thousands of people now, and it's just been unbelievable. Don't ever forget that hope is everything. Hope is unstoppable. That's why we relay. Love you guys.